Dude, you're not gonna get the info from me.
Ask Google, can someone scam you using your crypto address?
You will pay me for a shout out through PayPal?
No, you're gonna pay for the shout out. It's not free.
There were like Japanese guys in like hazmat suits trading cash with women and men on the beach.
When people are pushed, to the wall, they're gonna break.
You are now our hostage. I have two men with guns watching us. I was like blown away by this. So lately there has been an epidemic of scam artists. And sadly I must report that you viewers of Goldshaw Farm have potentially been victims. In the comments section of our videos, you'll start to see people who use a picture that looks like the picture I have on our YouTube profile, and they'll respond to the comments that you guys make, and what they'll do is they'll say something ridiculous like, hey, you want a prize, all you need to do is contact me on Telegram or WhatsApp or somewhere else. And now I know that most of you guys are smart enough not to fall for a stupid scam like that. It does really bother me. But as you guys might have learned about me, I am not the type of person just to get mad about a situation. I will often try to get even. And so as I was out here today doing my chores, I started to come up with an idea. Like, what if I started to go on WhatsApp and respond to these scammers? Would there be a potential way for me to get justice? Like, what do you think, Mr. Toby Dog? Could we potentially scam the scammers? I suppose the only real way to figure this one out is to log into my WhatsApp account and start responding to these folks. Of course, it would probably be a really stupid thing for me to use my account information for some sort of situation like this.
Check out the big brain on bread.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna take myself down to Joja Mart and buy some burner phones using cash. That makes these phones completely untraceable to me.
Of course, that idea kind of gets blown to hell when I realize that maybe ultimately they're gonna see this YouTube video.
Looking for a cash purchase in here? Maybe a couple of track phones.
Oh, sure, that guy.
I'm not exactly sure how this works. So this means I'm gonna have to deal with my Achilles heel of actually reading directions.
So after struggling with the setup process of my burner phone, I quickly got to work. I went through my comments section and tracked down a number of folks who were messaging my viewers, telling them to contact them through WhatsApp. I collected 22 different WhatsApp numbers, and I started messaging each one.
Hey, is this Goldshaw? You responded to my comment.
Yes, it is me. You are welcome. I would like to know your name and location.
Hey, is this really Morgan? This is Ollie Taylor from Boston. My comment name is Ali Tabuga. Sorry I missed your call, I was sleeping one off.
Alright, Ollie. How long have you been watching my content on YouTube?
Sorry I missed your call, I was waxing poetic. Been watching your channel since you got Toby Dog. Are you at the farm right now?
Alright, sir. Well, I'm in farm. Have you benefited from content on YouTube?
Most definitely. I particularly like your poop jokes. They always give me a chuckle.
Great. Well, would you like to get a shout out from me on my next video on YouTube? Not for free though.
That would be amazing. Oh, what do I have to do?
Well, the fee is $80. For this shout out, I can tell you how to proceed with payment if you're ready.
Wait, what does the shout out include? Can you name a duck after me?
Yes, I can name one of my ducks after you in the shout out if you want.
What about a goose? Can it be one of the geese instead?
You want it to be a goose instead of a duck?
Could it be one of your shaggy cows? I know you already have names, but maybe you could change it to Ali Tabuga. Would that be cool? Would that anger Pablo Boncat?
Alright, I would do just that. It won't anger Pablo Boncat though.
Wow, that would be so cool.
Alright, I make use of PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle to accept payments for shoutouts. Which would you prefer to use for payment?
What's that? Who's Zelle? Is that the new dog you're getting?
It's a payment method. Well, would you prefer to use PayPal or Cash App for payment for your shoutout?
You will pay me for a shoutout through PayPal? A shoutout and free money? That's so friggin' cool. You're the best, my dude.
No, you're gonna pay for the shoutout. It's not free. I can't do all those stuff for free.
I understand. I'll use PayPal.
Mo-low80@hotmail.com. Here is my PayPal tag. Make payments through family and friends.
That seems suspicious. Why is it a Hotmail address? Wouldn't it be from the farm?
That's my vendor's PayPal.
Look, I really want a shout out, but this seems suspicious. Can you prove that you're really Morgan?
I do not have a personal PayPal. I use my vendor's PayPal to receive payment.
Answer this question for me. Name all the farm's barn cats. Do it fast. If you take too long, I know you're faking.
I can't do everything. I only have to create my content. I have other workers doing other stuff for me, like I have vendors in charge of the financial aspect of my channel, I have editors, etc. I'm not forcing you to make a payment for the shoutout if you don't want it.
But you don't know your barn cat names?
How do you mean by I don't know my barn cat names? I just don't want to prove anything to you. What would I gain from your $80? It's alright, well, I think we should just forget about the shoutout.
Wait, I didn't mean to make you mad.
I'm a gentleman, I'm not mad at you, I just see it as a big disrespect.
And pretty much every single one of the conversations I had followed a very similar type of pattern.
Scammers don't call themselves scammers, no, we call ourselves Ninas, Yahoo boys, G boys.
The scammers would try to figure out a way to get some sort of money from me, either by way of a shout out, or giving me a gift, or potentially giving me investment advice.
And oftentimes they would try to get me to call them through WhatsApp.
Hello?
Hey, is this Goldshaw Farm?
Yeah. Yeah, boss.
Is this Morgan, really?
Yeah.
It's so crazy to talk to you, man. I have been watching your videos for so long. I love them so much. I'm so excited to talk to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm good. So how's Toby Dog? How's Abby Dog?
Good.
Yeah? What have they been up to today?
I don't really know, sure, but everything's fine. Everything's good.
You don't, wait, I'm confused. What do you mean you don't know much about? What do you mean?
Like, I was on it. I was just doing some trading today, then that's it.
Okay. Do you have a cold? You sound like you have a cold or something.
Yeah. I'm feeling up too well.
So I'm curious. So like, I didn't know that, like, aside from being a farmer, you also do like cryptocurrency trading.
Yeah, I got some new strategy on crypto trading. I do normally use my AI on trading. That's it. I just wanted to introduce it to it so you can start earning from crypto, but I don't put it on my YouTube channel because I don't want some YouTubers to just get rid of it and start doing it.
Ah, I see.
Or you just want it just to have a crypto wallet, and you just purchase a crypto, then I'll take your crypto address, your crypto wallet address, then I'll connect it to my AI mining machine. Then you start mining and start earning some profit. Maybe a day you start getting up to 1K daily.
So buddy, I gotta say, so the fact that you are pretending to be Goldshaw Farm and asking for my crypto wallet address so that you can help an investment is silly. I gotta ask, why do you do this? Do you actually like hoodwink people with this sort of stuff?
Normally, I don't put people, but I introduce them to a best platform where you can invest your money and start earning previously.
Dude, you're lying. Because number one, I know you're not Goldshaw Farm. I know that as soon as I give you like a wallet address, you're just gonna take those dollars and disappear.
Okay, you can, okay. I want you to do something for me.
Okay.
I want you to go to your Google. Then ask Google, can someone scam you using your crypto address? And you will see it's no. Connect your crypto address to my AI mining machine. It will enable you to receive your profits so fast.
Dude, you're not gonna get the info from me. I actually am just much more curious about you as a person. So like, where are you based?
Okay, I'm based in UK.
You're in the UK? Where in the UK? It's, you know, it's a pretty big country.
Yeah, it's a very big country, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't answer my question. I mean, look, man, I probably have some empathy for you. I can imagine you're struggling, but what you're doing right now also isn't right. And do you feel any guilt about that?
I'm not holding you that much and taking money from you, but I'm just investing for you.
For some reason, I don't believe you when you say that. I'm actually more impressed with the fact that you won't give up the ghost and actually admit to what's going on. But honestly, man, I'd love to have just a conversation to understand where you're coming from and say, hey, like, what are you struggling with? How can I actually help you? Because I think there's probably a reason why you do this. There's probably a reason why you try to make money dishonestly. And I just want to learn more about you.
You got me. Yeah.
So why do you do this, man?
Just want to further my education, that's it.
Where are you really based? I know you're not in the UK.
Nigeria.
Nigeria? Okay, that makes sense. I just would ask you, don't do this, because it's only going to lead you to trouble. It's only going to lead you to a guilty conscience. You know, the people that you're taking money from are good, trusting people, and what you're doing is not right.
Alright, I can stop for you, but shall we be friends?
Yeah, man, we can be friends. What's your real name?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, nice to meet you, man. Emmanuel, seriously, you're probably a good dude.
I just don't think what you're doing is good and you should stop. And you're gonna be judged harshly by many for what you're actually doing. And so I'd encourage you to stop. Even my cat's telling you to stop. Did you hear her? I don't know. All right, Emmanuel, you have a good day, man.
You too.
I don't know, Lil. I don't know why these folks do it. I'm sure they just need money, but it just seems really sad. I mean, the idea of, hey, this was probably some Nigerian scammer on the other end of this WhatsApp call was pretty much exactly what I was expecting. And so I don't know why I feel so hollow and empty from the truth. But it is what it is. And I will say at this point, I do have some empathy for the scammers.
Oh boy, who knew the solution to scamming was just empathy? It couldn't have anything to do with colonization, human trafficking, resource extraction, systemic poverty, and a lack of opportunities. It's just about empathy. YouTube, saving the world one video at a time.
I don't know much about Nigeria, except once I got an email from a Nigerian prince.
And then you look at how many successful Nigerian scammers there are.
The Nigerian scams are big business.
Why are all scammers from Nigeria?
Now, I realize as a white middle-aged farmer living in Vermont, I'm not necessarily the guy best suited for trying to understand where these Nigerian scammers are coming from. And so I decided to have a conversation with my friend Emeka, who's a content creator based in Nigeria, to get his perspective.
There is a certain perception about Nigerians that people who are not Nigerian have about Nigeria. Although it is founded on, facts, we cannot deny the fact that there are a lot of people that are doing this. I think, there is a danger that becomes a singular story.
Show a people as one thing over and over again, and that is what they become.
So for Nigeria, the perception has become scam. There are over 200 million people in Nigeria. It's not everyone, and let us judge individuals as individuals. The arrival of the internet in Nigeria in the early 2000s, it was kind of a two-way street. I think like anything, the internet is a tool. And some people saw it like a tool and said, okay, what can we build out of this? Nigeria has like the most unicorns in Africa. We have very thriving technological businesses. But on the other hand, you also have people who saw that access to other people and, used it for nefarious means. The name that is given to the scammers, the most colloquial name that is used, especially here in Nigeria, is Yahoo boys. And Yahoo comes from Yahoo Messenger, which is what they used to send the Prince of Nigeria message before Gmail became a thing. What these two allowed them to do was it allowed them to reach a lot of different people at the same time, because it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap to send a message. It's like casting a net into the ocean. Whichever fish gets into the net, you pull it back up. You have some people who just saw it as a means to like get quick cash and just like rip people off.
Nigeria, despite being the richest country in Africa, has the poorest people in the world.
When you've tried good, it doesn't work, you have to turn to evil.
Money scammers can rake in far exceeds anything they'd be able to make with an honest day's work.
Nigerian conmen awaiting the call from another victim.
And they say it is simply because there are no other jobs.
On the one hand, stealing is not justifiable, especially because contrary to what they think, they are not like some Robin Hood kind of people that they steal from the rich and give to the poor or whatever like that. They're stealing from the most vulnerable people in society, so that is inexcusable. However, at the same time, I think if you come from it from the angle of a little bit of empathy and just like understanding the human condition, that when people are pushed to the wall, they're going to break. A lot of the scammers that you see are young boys, because the society over here is still very patriarchal. So they're looking at young boys to step up and to provide once their fathers are out of the picture. In a country where the minimum wage is less than $1 a day, those people, they don't see any other way out. They grow up on the street, they live under the bridge, they live in slums. They kind of get to a point where they are desensitized to what they're doing, and they don't even realize that what they're doing is wrong or it's evil or it's actually harming people.
If you live in Nigeria, just go on Google right now and type how to be a, and the very first suggestion you get is Yahoo boy.
So back about 10 years ago, I was living in New York City and my wife was working a job where she sometimes had to go to Senegal, where she would have all these hospitals and health organizations she'd have to go visit. So one time while she was over there, I took about 10 days off and took vacation in Senegal and spent the time with her, and we were exploring the country. One afternoon, Allison had to deal with something, I think it was related to her job, and so she wasn't going to be able to hang out with me that afternoon, so I had an afternoon to myself. One of the things, though, that Allison had suggested to me before she went off to go do her work stuff was that I could go visit the fish market. So I kind of figured, what the heck, let me go down to this fish market. I looked on a map and it looked like it was only about a mile or so away from the hotel that we were staying at, and so I walked out the front door of the hotel and started toward the direction of the fish market. I didn't walk maybe more than 15 steps past the barrier of the hotel. It had this fence and gate, armed guards, and kind of a standard foreigner hotel in Africa type of setting. And I didn't walk maybe 15 steps out of the hotel when I was approached by a teenager, really skinny, kind of short. He came right up to me and introduced himself. His name was the world famous Gabby de Maestro, and he wanted to know if I wanted to be taken on a tour to the fish market. Senegal is a country that primarily speaks French, and I don't speak any French whatsoever. Having a tour guide who knows the area and speaks the language could be a really handy thing. He told me that for the equivalent of $5 American, he would take me around for the afternoon and show me the fish market and show me all the hidden places that they don't show the tourists and give all the inside views of everything. Okay, sure, let's do it, man. So Gabby whistles and waves, and then within about 30 seconds, a rickshaw that's attached to this rickety old bicycle pulls right up next to me. Gabby says, hop in. And so Gabby hops in the back, I hop in the back, and off we go down the street towards the fish market. Gabby's talking a mile a minute about this and that and asking me questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to keep up, but I'm having a good time. I'm really letting myself relax. I'm really starting to enjoy being in a place that's very different from where I had been living. And it was just this awesome experience. And we eventually pull up to the fish market and we get out. And I was expecting it to be a structure and a building, and there'd be stalls and merchant stalls. But really all it was a whole bunch of people congregating on a beach. There were blankets of women who had fish, just all spread out, different types of fish piled in different clusters all over the beach. There were men pulling these long wooden boats up by hand, and they were sort of carrying them off the water. They apparently go out a couple of miles. I'm talking they're going in the Atlantic Ocean in rowboats. I'm just amazed seeing all the activity. Gabby takes me to the place where they actually build the boats and shows me that. Gabby's explaining to me the different roles and the different jobs that people have. I'm taking pictures and just learning and observing. And it was just this incredible, incredible experience. The sights, the sounds, the energy. There were these Japanese guys in hazmat suits who were trading cash with women and men on the beach, buying up fish. And Gabby explained it to me that they buy it for sushi that they ship all over the world. I was just having the best afternoon. Gabby and I walked up and down the boardwalk a little bit. I ended up buying them a coconut, and I bought a coconut, and we're drinking coconut water right on the beach, and it was just awesome, and we were just having such a good time. Gabby and I, we're really bonded, man. I like this kid's energy. He's just a real natural ham. He keyed in on the fact that because I was living in Brooklyn at the time, I must have known the Wu-Tang Clan.
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
And we started talking about hip-hop in Senegal in the early 2000 teens. Their hip-hop knowledge really stopped in 90s hip-hop, which was really good because that's about where my hip-hop knowledge also stopped.
Here I go, deep tight flow. Jack you stole can never get this low.
And after about 2 hours, Gabby's like, so do you want to head back to your hotel? And I'm like, yeah, let's go, man. This was awesome. You did such a good job. And so we hop in the back of the rickshaw takes us back to the hotel. But just as we're getting, maybe 200 or 300 feet from in front of the hotel, the bike stops and Gabby says, that'll be $5. And I'm like, dude, you earned it. I give the rickshaw driver the equivalent of $10. I give Gabby the equivalent of $20. And just as I'm about to get out of the rickshaw, Gabby stops me and he pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket and he hands it to me. And I pull out the piece of paper and I unfold it and I look at it. And as I read it, my heart just sinks to the bottom of my stomach. Because the note says, you are now our hostage.
I have 2 men with guns watching us. Please be quiet while we go to the nearest ATM. I was like blown away by this. I look up, I look at Gabby. He looks really nervous and anxious, like, you know, he really fidgeting, really anxious, and I don't quite know what to do about this. But I look at the note, I look at Gabby, I look at the rickshaw driver who's looking at me too, and then I look at my hotel, which again, it's about 200 feet away. You know, they got the armed guards, the whole 9 yards, all of that. Take one last look at the note, and I say, okay, close the note up, toss it at Gabby, and immediately run in the opposite direction. The guards look at me like, try to explain to him, this guy just tried to kidnap me, and I'm just trying to get away. And the guards look at Gabby and the rickshaw driver and me, and you know, again, here I am about, you know, 250 pounds, you know, and here he is like 5'3", maybe 110 pounds. They sort of chuckle. And one of the guards explains to me that ransom technique is actually this scam that had been going on for years. But they were just chuckling, seeing my big portly frame running towards the hotel. And while at first, after all this happened, I was really mad, because I was really mad at Gabby. Man, we had bonded, we're friends, we've been talking about 36 chambers.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
But then as I thought about it, I realized, look, he's just trying to make a buck.
When compared to other countries in Africa, Senegal is actually fairly well off in terms of economic prospects, but it's absolutely nothing when you compare it to the United States. And I think about the opportunities that somebody like I had versus the opportunities that somebody like Gabby had. And it makes me realize that to be angry at him for really just finding a niche in the ecosystem and finding a way for him to exist and survive, I can no more fault a bobcat for grabbing one of my ducks than I can for a guy like Gabby trying to score extra cash off of a guy like me. Which, when I think about somebody like Emmanuel or others that I've talked to over the last couple of days, what I'm starting to realize is it's not all that different. How else are they gonna survive? But now please don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that you should be giving your information to scammers, and I also want to be clear that I will never contact you through the comments telling you you want something and try to get you to communicate with me any way other than trying to message me through goldshawfarm.com. And if there's ever a commenter I'm trying to get in touch with, I will only tell you to contact me through my website, goldshawfarm.com. That would be the only way I ever do it. Don't give in to scammers, but also don't be hateful towards the scammers. You know, you see them make a comment or a pitch to you telling you to contact them on WhatsApp or Telegram, just block it, report it, and move on. It's just a symptom of the difficult world that we live in today. Thanks for watching, everybody.